Hello and welcome to Decisionography. My name is Adam and I'm the author of this web application. This is the second in a series of brief tutorials. This tutorial will cover the tips and tricks needed to get the most out of this app. Remember that currently Decisionography does not work with Internet Explorer. Alright, let's get started. In the last video, I created the user CarEX. For purposes of the next demonstration, I have made a few modifications to my numbers. Let's show ranking. As you recall, even though I told Decisionography that I prefer SUVs over minivans, the other criteria and my weights told Decisionography that taking all of my criteria as a whole, I really prefer the minivan. This is the power of Decisionography. It helps you organize and clarify your thinking. After all of your data is entered and you find out your result, you might also be interested in knowing which criteria was really driving your decision. I'm going to view the numerical ranking so we can analyze my thinking further. The result at the top of the decision tree is the sum of the combination of decision tree rank and weight calculations, which I will show you more in detail later. Since minivan results in 3.0, it places first to the SUV, whose result is 2.95. The checkboxes are a very powerful feature of Decisionography. Unchecking a branch removes that portion of the decision tree from the calculation. It is as if it was never there. By checking and unchecking different combinations of the decision tree, you can come to understand more about your decision making. Unchecking handling doesn't change the result, but unchecking comfort does change the result. This is because comfort carries a higher ranking than handling. More on this later. Unchecking them both makes my choice between the cars a toss-up. That's because taken together, cost and type, in this case, numerically balance each other. Including only cost or type will cause the ratings between the two cars to swap back and forth. If I unclick type, the minivan prevails. If I unclick cost, the SUV prevails. Leaving only one child checked is the same as unchecking the outline branch above it. Notice that cost no longer contributes to the result, and SUV's result is now 0. Clicking the checkbox at the car level will check all of the items beneath. Clicking the plus minus next to the folder icon will expand and collapse the outline. Under Tools, you can expand all levels, and you can also select all tree levels. If you have several alternatives, it is also useful to sometimes sort the outcomes. Under Tools, you can choose Sort Outcomes. Let's take a minute and look behind the curtain of Decisionography. The decision outline actually breaks down your decision criteria into percentages, with the top level of the outline representing 100%. Decisionography takes the rankings that you enter and, along with the structure of the outline, divides each endpoint of your decision tree into a percentage of the whole. Cost and type each makes up 27% of the decision, with handling being 21% and comfort being 25%. In this decision tree, handling makes up the smallest part of my decision. This is why unchecking it earlier did not affect the results of which car came in number 1. For each bottommost row of the outline, Decisionography multiplies percentage of that row by the corresponding weight of each outcome to determine the row result. Then the results are added up to get the outcome total. Here is a more densely populated decision tree for choosing a car. If you pick up a node, the screen will scroll for you. Tiers allow you to group criteria into their importance as a group. In this case, Tier 1 is a 5 and Tier 2 is a 4. Therefore, cost and amenities, etc., become more important than type and color. Let's look at our top 3 choices. I can either move them manually, like so, or I can have Decisionography sort them for me. Then you can unclick Tier 1 and use the secondary criteria to help determine your final result. Notice that Minivan 2 and SUV swap rank positions. My son is about to graduate college, and my wife and I used Decisionography to help us pick which bed and breakfast we want to stay in. Again, thank you for visiting Decisionography, and please feel free to contact us with your comments and suggestions.